Who's thinking about buying football in June? Well, with the super early bird football promotion at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, we have a few reasons why. Early bird pricing for NFL and college football combo is $8.99, but using coupon code FOOTBALL100, you can take $100 off, dropping the price to $7.99. If you purchase by June 30th and use coupon code FOOTBALL100 to get your $100 discount, we'll also toss in an additional bonus. On July 4th, we'll take the highest scoring MLB game of the day and give you $10 for every run scored. Yes, so if July 4th, the highest scoring game is 10-9, you will get $190 in wager bucks to use how you choose. This super early bird $100 discount using Football 100 and wager bucks bonus expires on June 30th with no exceptions. So if you plan to bet football this year, this is the lowest price we will offer. So act fast and lock in your favorite football handicappers in both NFL and college football through the national championships and Super Bowl.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Friday to you here. It is time to talk NBA Finals, the all-important game number 4, backs against the wall for the Golden State Warriors. And the question is, can they even this series up before heading back home for a Game 5? And here to help us decipher all of this, 3 of the very best on a Friday as we welcome in Andy Lang, Tony Mejia, and Steve Merrill on this Friday, guys. It's getting good. There's an awful lot of folks sticking a fork in this Golden State Warriors team. I'd be careful about that, but we'll try to see if we can't find a couple of edges for you. In the meantime, Andy Lang locked and loaded here for this weekend. A lot going on, Andy. I know you got some racing happening. You got, of course, a little bit of golf happening. Now you got 27 leagues you got to handicap. Darts, NFL, NHL. You got a lot going on, Andy. Tell us about it, man.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness, we got a 4% best bet on a player prop, and we're going to have a lot more player props for tonight. Feel like we've got a good read on this game. We got short rests. And we just feeling really good about some of the numbers that the books have been gracious enough to give us. Also got MLB play of the night that's up. And yes, you're right. We have 2 great auto races. We have a really great one in Formula One, a road course in NASCAR as well. We're hitting 65% this year in auto racing. So I'm super proud about that. Both NASCAR and Formula One are using new cars this year, and we've done a great job starting off. But all about the NBA props tonight, feeling great. 4% best bet is up right now.
Oh, boom. You got to love that. And Tony Mejia, talk to us here, my man. You've been cruising along this week. 5% winners. You get a 5% winner. You're like Oprah here, man, just handing out winners. Talk to us heading into tonight and this weekend. What do you got locked and loaded for us?
Yeah, we want the people to check under their seats again, and hopefully there's another 5% winner that they pull out from under there. And we will we'll try again tonight. Game 4, it's a big deal. The Warriors are 5-0 after a loss, and the Celtics not so great at home, but obviously after what we saw on Wednesday night, Boston's got a chance to take the series by the throat. So it'll be interesting to see their killer instinct. Stephen Curry, if nothing else, isn't milking any injuries. He said, I'm going to play, and he steadfastly believes he's ready to go. So we'll see if we see another Splash Brothers revival to pick up the slack and help the Warriors get back to San Francisco 2-2.
Yeah, they're going to need to. I hate to say, must win, but damn, Steve Merrill, kind of a must-win situation. But hasn't been a problem for you, man. Cashing tickets all week long here. MLB, full slate here this weekend. Not to mention, of course, a couple of, at least a game tonight. We'd have to wait until game Monday for that game number 5. But what do you got? What do you got ready for us over at WagerTalk.com tonight?
Yeah, if Golden State loses tonight, they would have to win 3 straight to win the title, right? They'd have to win 5, 6, and 7. And speaking of 3 straight winners, that's what I've done the past 2 nights, a perfect 3-0 sweep at WagerTalk.com. And as you mentioned, there's no NBA Saturday or Sunday, so what a great time to start thinking about taking baseball serious. We have 5 months of baseball remaining until the World Series into November. I've got 2 best bets tonight in baseball, the Game 4 NBA best bet as well. That quite simply is a 3-pack right there if you get the daily pass for $39. But the best deal is get the rest of the baseball season for less than basically $3.50 a day for the rest of the baseball season, because I've discounted it all the way down to $4.99, and you get the rest of the NBA Finals, including tonight's strong best bet, for free. Once again, baseball through November, NBA included for free. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Oh, guys, all right. Listen, opportunities galore to make it a very profitable, shall we say, weekend here, and that's exactly what we want to do, as we'll take you to Boston here for Game 4 tonight. I believe 9 o'clock. Again, it's for those poor bastards on the West Coast, right? It's like what, midnight there? Is that what's going on? It's midnight for them. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So Golden State got a little something to get used to, but doesn't stop it from opening up at 3.5. And I do believe that's 4s now. We've seen that total somewhere around the 214.5, 214. That has come down just a hair here, guys. So, Andy, start us off here tonight. There's a lot of different, shall we say, prop bets, both for Boston and Golden State. I'm wondering if the fade is on one side or the other, or do you like some guys just to go up, and away over what the market thinks they're going to do?
I don't think it's midnight. When
it's the other way. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's the other way. That's why you started going the other way. Sorry about that. Yes.
The London players will be sleepy.
Yes, exactly correct.
Yes. Now the English, the English players, the guys on the Saudi Arabian golf tour, they'll be struggling to watch the game tonight.
They're already struggling.
The Steph Curry getting banged up. It's never a good time to get banged up, but it's a bad time because they only get the 1 day of rest. So we'll see how he comes out. One thing I was encouraged by as far as prop betting is I liked seeing Klay Thompson get as many 3-point shots as possible. So I would look to him to maybe hit over 3.5. I like this one because it's priced really well. He's gone over, or he's had more attempts in each game this series. He's had 7, 8, and 13. So last game went 5 for 13. You know they're going to be going after Steph hardcore on the Celtics will be going hardcore after Steph on offense. So I wonder if Curry gets a little bit worn out, which should open up some more shots for Klay. If he gets to double-digit attempts, I think he could have a really nice night. So I like getting over 3.5 3-pointers at plus money. Robert Williams, I thought he was going to be hobbled last game. He looked great. That being said, 1 day of rest, if you look at kind of his stats, he doesn't really put together 2 games in a row of really good stats. I'd look to him maybe under. And then, Steve, I know you and I had talked about this last time we did a show, the Al Horford regression. And that's been a good one. He threw people off the scent with that huge game. And then sure enough, his stats have been under central. So I would start off by looking at some of those props. And then we got a best bet coming up here at the end of the show.
All right, good stuff there. Opportunities galore there, both sides. I'm wondering how many people are going to run to bet Klay Thompson up and over here tonight. Should be interesting. Tony Mejia, what do you think here, my man? It's been an interesting playoffs for the Golden State Warriors. They have dominated at home, but I'm looking at a 3-5 straight up, 2-6 ATS away from their home court in these playoffs this year. Not great. So what do you think? Bounce back or easier said than done? Is the zigzag even still up for consideration at this point?
It certainly is. I mentioned at the beginning that the Warriors are 5-0 coming off a loss, but they're going to have to make their own energy here, Joe. I mean, that I think is the key. They already whined about how mean all the little fans in Boston are. And the virgin ears that everybody has on that bench were violated. So how do they respond? With Steph Curry's got to supply the energy. That's a given, and he has done that through the entire series. So now he's got to do it coming off being hobbled a little bit, because I don't believe that he's 100%. And Draymond Green has to do it in a similar fashion to what he did in Game 2, where he was able to get in Boston's heads, and he started off on Jaylen Brown and kept him from kind of bottled up, kept him from going off the way he did it at the beginning of Game 3, which really created a situation where Boston got comfortable very nicely because Jaylen Brown got going, and then that allowed Jason Tatum to settle in. So this is a Draymond Green situation coming off being questioned at his press conference as to why he's still running his podcast as often as he is and giving away trade secrets. I don't think he appreciated that whatsoever. Said he played like shit, which was accurate. And now he's got to bounce back and be that guy, the driving force emotionally on the captain of the defense and facilitator on offense, despite the fact that nobody's guarding him. So big day for Draymond. I faded him, his rebounds in Game 3. I would not recommend fading his points, rebounds, and assists in this game, only because I think he understands watching film that with them not guarding him, he's got to be more aggressive. So from that standpoint, I think the bar is set too low on him.
I'd say that's an interesting point there. He kind of spot on. It's going to begin and end like it has all season long, Merrill. Whether he's playing bad or not on the court, they have been a different team, the Golden State Warriors. We saw it all season long, that stretch that he got hurt. And quite honestly, I didn't even realize he played in the last game because that's how non-factor-ish he was in it. So it begins and ends with him, but he talked about, Tony Mejia, that 5-0 Golden State coming off of a double-digit loss like that. We talked about some of those numbers yesterday on the show, Merrill. But one thing that I found out and that I thought was interesting is that the Celtics aren't exactly, they don't put those back-to-back extraordinary efforts together. They're only 7-7 straight up and against the number in these playoffs after a win like that. So they don't put these back-to-back crazy offensive displays on. They tend to regress a little bit. So is this the opportunity for Golden State to take advantage of that and say, yeah, now's our time with Draymond leading the charge?
Yeah, we talk about the zigzag, obviously, as far as playing on teams that lost the previous game. It's a perfect 2-0 so far in this series. You know, Boston won Game 1. Golden State came back, won Game 2 rather easily. And then Boston won Game 3 rather easily. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that continues. But I think in a bigger picture, more betting opportunities, as Andy knows, as the prop master, is player zigzags. And that's where I was going with that Al Horford zigzag back in Game 2. You know, he had a 26-point outburst, 6 for 8 from 3, a guy that averages 1.5 attempts a game, took 8. And then not only that, it puts them on the radar for the other team. And one of the reasons the zigzag works in general is, like you said, Joe, teams have an emotional high and then they let down. It's human nature, right? Yep. When you have an easy win, you're not quite as hungry the next game. Whereas your back's against the wall, Class A team like Golden State come out with a little more focus. You make adjustments, whereas the team that everything worked for, you don't need to make adjustments. So that's why the zigzag works, but it's also why players zigzag. And Draymond Green has been awful, like you said. You know, we joked that he did have 6 personal fouls. That was his high stat, 6-4-2, 6 fouls, 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 2 points in Game 3. So you do kind of feel like, hey, maybe he bounces back. The problem is, though, I just don't want to bet on, because this is a guy that hasn't looked great out there. He hasn't really been involved in the offense. You know, Andy mentioned over 3.5 threes. He mentioned on WagerTalk today with me and Prez earlier for Klay Thompson. You know, I was under Klay Thompson in Game 3 here on the show. He obviously had a big game. He went over. Didn't surprise me. He's always capable of doing that. But like Andy said, that he made 5 threes on 13 attempts. He had 8 attempts before that. So even though the line's now up to 20.5 from 19.5, Tom's a little nervous. And Andy had a great point as well, that Curry's not 100%. So I'm not going to look Thompson under this game because of the Curry factor, because he's getting a lot of shot attempts. But Draymond Green just has not been involved in the offense. He had 4 field goal attempts last game. He had 3 the game before that. Game 1, he was involved, but he was only 2 for 12. He shot awful. So it's hard to make a case for Draymond until I see him do something on the court.
So it's interesting. 14 wins so far in the playoffs here, Andy, right, for the Celtics. And I said 7-7. And if you take away, by the way, the Nets series, they're 5-7, both against the number and straight up after a win. And of those 14 games that they have played after a win, 10 of the 14 have not made their team total in those next games. So the offense really tends to, after Merrill was saying, you know, they have this emotional high, the offense, they're hitting shots from all over the place. Well, the next game might absolutely be the time, based upon what we've seen, to fade maybe some of those Celtics and the offensive props that we saw from last game to this game, since they ain't hitting the team totals in those next games either.
Yeah, I would not want to take a Boston Celtics team total under, just with how much success they've been having. They really found something with Jaylen Brown going right at Steph Curry. And not only did Brown have a big game, but you see it open up a lot of shots for guys like Marcus Smart. I tell you, one guy that has been going under is Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you see him, doing this thing, after a foul. I don't know if it's a stinger or a separated shoulder or what it is, but 9 of 23 from the field. Last game played 41 minutes and he had 26 points, but not looking great. Tatum could be one on the under. And I do have to say, I was laughing with Jay Money. We were talking about Draymond doing the podcast. It's like, so after they're mad at Draymond doing a podcast. So after a game, Draymond speaks into a microphone about his performance. They also call that a post-game press conference.
Good point.
Like
Solid
it's,
point.
it's like, it's okay for him to do it at a podium where media is asking him questions, but don't do it in your hotel room. For God's sake, save the children.
Yep. So, I agree.
As far as Golden State, I have no idea what to expect from them. If they come out shooting threes and they're hot, they're going to sail over their team total. If it's clunky, if Draymond stinks again, if Steph is really hobbled, they could go under by 10, 12 points. I'm taking the Celtics team total over Golden State team total. That's a stay away from me tonight.
All right, should be an interesting game here tonight. One in which, and we don't like to say must have, but Golden State does not want to go home down 3-1. Very difficult. Like Merrill said, that would require 3 straight wins, but do they have enough to get it done? Let's figure out some of the best bets that these guys have lined up here tonight for us. Plus, a quick reminder, WagerTalk.com. You can get all of their best bets, guys, not just tonight in this game, but, of course, all sports, the entire landscaping today, Saturday, Sunday. Great opportunity to hop on board 3-day, 7-day, those 30-day all-access packages, guys. Well worth it. You don't have to worry about it. Get every one of their plays, including all their 5% best bets. Head over to WagerTalk.com right now. Visit Andy, visit Tony, and visit Steve Merrill. Why? We're going to start with Tony Mejia because in addition to yet another 5% best bet, he's looking to cash here tonight. Just keep ringing him up here, Mejia. Talk to us about a best bet that we can look at. Prop side, total series. What do you got for us here tonight?
Sure, I can supply that. I'll say that Steph Curry's points total for this game is 28.5.
Ooh.
So odds makers don't think that his injury is going to be an issue. He's gone for 31, 29, and 34 in the series. So if he's able to continue his production, Golden State has a chance to win. I also like Otto Porter, over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's been a solid facilitator and a knockdown shooter most of the series. But my best bet is going to be going back to the well with Jaylen Brown. He's my series MVP. I got him to plus 1,100. And win or lose, I need him to continue to outplay Jason Tatum, because that's going to be the matchup if Boston is able to win another championship. I like Jaylen Brown to go over 30.5 points and rebounds. I think he will stay hot and stay aggressive.
All right. Love it. Good stuff. Now, guys, just a quick reminder here. It's been a big, mantra of ours here. If it ain't friggin' broke, don't fix it. Shall we talk about the third quarter for Golden State, guys? Hint, hint. The second quarter now 14-6 for Boston in the playoffs. Hint, hint. And, of course, Steve Merrill, we mentioned it yesterday. A lot of different ways to be able to approach this game, not just from full game side or total. The in-game betting opportunities, and also some of these trends, it's hard to look the other way. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, betting Golden State in the third quarter, I think, should be on everybody's ticket here tonight. Win or lose, it just feels like it's what's the reverse of a falling knife, Merrill?
Morency and I have coined that. It's a speeding bullet. We both came up with that individually. Yeah, you don't try to dodge a speeding bullet when a hot team is hot.
Love
there
it.
You go.
Yep. What do you got for a best bet, Merrill? Talk to us.
No, we talked about how the Warriors have been strong in the third quarter, but I'm going to use a different number 3 here for a free play for Friday night's Game 4 NBA Finals, and that's number 3, number 1 in your hearts tonight, Jordan Poole for the Golden State Warriors. Always talk about regression. You play, look, we gave out Al Horford unders. I still think he goes under 10.5 tonight, but I also think Jordan Poole will play better than expected. This is a guy that's on the season. His average, what is it, like 17.5 points a game? Oh, actually, 18.5 points a game. I think his career 19 playoff game, he's averaged like 17. His total set at 11.5 total points. It was 13.5 heading into Game 2. It's lower now because he hasn't been doing much points-wise, but I think that's misleading. This is still an excellent shooter. We also have the bonus that Curry might be a little hot. Poole gets more playing time, more shot attempts, and Poole still is sniffing around digits basically every game. I think he gets over 11.5 here. Jordan Poole, a discounted price on a very good shooter tonight for Golden State. Don't forget, 2 strong baseball best bets. Get the NBA Finals for free with my baseball special right now. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Boom! All right, way to go. Now, Andy, one more time here. I know there's a lot of different ways you're going to approach this game tonight, the all-important Game 4 here. So narrow it down for us there, if you could. 60 seconds. Tell us one of your favorite plays here tonight.
Well, we talked about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Steve talked about don't dodge a speeding bullet. I'm going to go with the first quarter over. It's hit in every game this series. Yep, it's 53.5. They've scored 55, 60, and 61 in the first quarter. And what I like about this is you're going to get a majority of the minutes from the starters, particularly with Boston. You're seeing that Tatum and Brown and Smart, you're just getting them all on the floor for an extended period of time. With Golden State, you're getting Clay, you're getting a lot of minutes with Steph. And what we see with Steph is he generally gets his break in the second quarter. So you're just getting all the star power in the first quarter, and I think that's contributing. Even with Golden State scoring 22 points in the first quarter, they had a bad first quarter. Boston goes for 33. It still gets to 55, and it goes over. So give me the first quarter once again to go over the total.
Boom! Mejia, let me ask you a question here quick, because the numbers are nauseating here. 52 points in the paint, 17 points off turnovers, 24 points off free throws Boston did against the Golden State. And Looney didn't even play, 13, 14 minutes here. He's like the only guy that can actually grab a rebound, not to mention the second chance points. 22 second chance points on 15 offensive boards for Boston. Does Looney play more here tonight?
I think that's been the remedy, right? It was earlier in the playoffs when Golden State was struggling and using the death lineup and having it work against them against Memphis. They said, all right, we got to get bigger. Let's go to Looney. I definitely agree. That's a great point, great observation. Because in game 1, I was surprised by him giving the Celtics work on the offensive glass, and that he was able to do that. And really, it was one reason why that game was so nip and tuck. And until the fourth, and while the Warriors had the lead, and in game 2 he was pretty dominant there. But game 3, kind of a no-show. So we'll see if he is able to come back in the series and make his presence felt. 2 quick things as well.
Sure.
The total in this game, the teams went 28 for 75 from 3-point range in game 3, 37%, and we were on an overpace the entire time. Yeah. They went 30 for 39, 30 for 37 from the free throw line, and yet, despite the fact that it felt like we were going to soar way over, we really didn't. It was line closed 212.5, 213, and we got to 216. So I'm wondering if we're going to get an under tonight. And last thing, join us for $9 Monday, because that's when Game 5 will be around. So we will all, I'm sure, have solid plays on that.
Absolutely, guys. So true. All right, to recap one more time, guys, let's take a look what we got. Andy Lang, he likes the first quarter for Nate Brumto fixing his cash every game. First quarter over 53.5 in this one, while Tony Mejia, listen, Jaylen Brown, ride the hot hand here, guys. What'd we say? Speeding bullet? Yep, over 30.5 points and rebounds. And Merrill, same situation, though. He likes Jordan Poole to go up and over the 11.5 points. Where is he been the unsung hero? Somebody's got to step up for Golden State. Yep, Jordan Poole would be a good remedy for them. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button. Make sure you visit all three of these gentlemen over at WagerTalk.com. Let's make it a very profitable game number 4. And like Tony said, Monday, $9 Monday, all best bets, just $9. That's when we'll be back to recap it all and get you ready for the all-important Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Until then, on behalf of Andy, Tony, and Steve Merrill, guys, best of luck with your plays tonight and this weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Good luck.
Who's thinking about buying football in June? Well, with the super early bird football promotion at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, we have a